Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadama Hyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitangscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Welcome to Saturday Sanga.
Bienvenidos al Sanga de los sábados.
Okay, now this brings us, the first question is I think, I'm not sure how this will work because now we all, I hear you and I think everyone else hears you.
Nitya Prabhu, you have to switch to Spanish channel, please, to Spanish audience. Right now you're in English audience.
I have only English and Polski.
Okay.
I don't have the option of
Spanish. Just a second, let me check.
Technology.
Yeah.
Technology is great when it works.
Yeah.
And when it doesn't work, or we don't know how to use it, it starts to bite.
Can you confirm the Nitya Prabhu now?
Por favor. Okay. Uh-oh.
Let's see. Yeah. Maybe it does. Okay. Ahora parece que me escuchan en castellano.
Prabhuji, now switch to Spanish.
Yeah. I think it is done now.
Please select Spanish, please.
I already did.
Meanwhile,
I think I'm done.
Theoretically, we can also have other languages.
Teóricamente tendríamos que tener otros idiomas también.
in case, oh, I see Prema Sarovara is here. In case you, Prema
Veo que
Sarovara.
Prema Sarovar está acá. Prema Sarovar le gustaría traducir también.
So, but you'll have to work that out, the details, how to do that later, I think, with Dharma-gupta.
Yeah. Van a tener que arreglar con Dharma-gupta, con
And,
traducciones también.
yeah, any other languages.
De cualquier otro idioma también.
Titesha Prabhu. Titesha Prabhu?
Yes.
You're still in English. Can you switch, please, to something else, then back to, switch to Polish, then back to Spanish, just to change something.
Oh, yeah. Well, now I have only English and Spanish, also Polski has gone
Okay.
from the screen.
Can you just click, please, click on Spanish, please?
Yeah, I'm already in Spanish. Should I?
Can you please do it once again? So
Here in Spanish again.
Is this working now?
I apologize, Guru Maharaj, just to once again, just to sort it out.
I don't hear Daityesha, so maybe it works now.
Yo no escucho ya a Daityesha, así que tal vez
No,
funcione.
Titesha Prabhu, we can still hear you. Please switch to English, then switch back to Spanish.
I will do it. Okay, again. What about now?
Same.
How are we doing now? Something working?
Something works. Yes, something is working somewhere.
We don't hear you, so that might be a good sign.
Escuchamos, debe ser un buen signo. Sí, yo también pienso lo mismo.
Whoops, now I hear you. Well, I don't know what to say.
No sé qué decir.
He's translating my every word.
Él traduce palabra por palabra lo que yo digo. That's my job.
That's your job, I know.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Dharma.
Okay, Dharma. Any? Excuse me, Guru Maharaj, can you repeat?
Have we solved the problem? It doesn't seem like we have solved the problem.
Yesha Prabhu, you are translating now? Okay, so now it should be fine.
Now it works? Okay. Okay, good. So today we have, another special day, Saturday. We're at the beginning of a special month, Purushottama Mas. And we can talk about that a little bit later. And we also have, do we have any show and tell today?
Yes, Guru Maharaj, we have 3 so far.
Oh.
Just a second. We have Nandimukhi Mataji.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Narnamayi Mataji. Then we have Hemangi Gopi Mataji.
Okay.
There is Narahari Mataji, I think, instead of Nandimukhi, maybe.
Sorry, I apologize. Narahari, not Nandimukhi. Narahari Mataji.
Okay. Yes, and then starting at 2:00, we have another initiation. And that's going to be a bit more elaborate than the initiation we had of Amrita-tarani Mataji. We have, this time it's going to be live at Goloka Dham, Germany for Bhakti Ivica, and there's going to be a fire yajna. We won't actually, we won't stay tuned in for the yajna, but before that we will speak. Yeah, so stay tuned, as they say. And we'll start out, we're also starting a new section of Saranagati of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura. This is the third section out of 6. This is called Goptritve Varanam. The conviction of faith in the Lord's maintenance, Goptritve, the quality of maintenance. The Lord maintains us. So we can sing the first song, and I think you have the link. And this is with 6 verses. The first verse translation. How has one such as I come to your shelter? Surely it is by your mercy alone, for you are ever seeking the purification and deliverance of the fallen souls. You are my only hope, for you are full of compassion and mercy. There is no one who needs your mercy more than I. You will surely drive away all fear. No one else has the power to deliver me. O merciful Lord, by your declaration, kindly deliver this vile and lowly sinner. I have given up everything and come to your lotus feet. I am your eternal servant, and you are my protector and maintainer, O Lord of the universe. Everything is yours. I am merely a servant, certain that you will deliver me. I have chosen your lotus feet as my only shelter. I no longer belong to myself. Weeping, Bhaktivinoda takes shelter at your feet. Forgive his offenses, afford him a taste for the holy name, and kindly maintain him. Okay, let's try this. This is without rehearsal, mind you. As Ki Jani ki Bale, tomāra dhāmete, hoinu Saranagati. Ki Jani ki Bale, tomāra dhāmete, hoinu Saranagati. Tumi doyā-moy, patita-pāvana, patita-tāran, rata. Tumi doyā-moy, patita-pāvana, patita-tāran, rata. Bharasā amar ematra nata tumito karunā-moy bharasā ama ematra nata tumito karunā-moy tava doyā-pātra nahimor sama avasya gucchire boya tava doyā-pātra nahimor sama avasya gucchabe boya amare tarite tahara shakati avanī-bhitore nahi amare tarite karaho shakati avanī-bhitore nahi doyala Thakura Goshana tomāra Dhama pamare trahi doyala Thakura Goshana tomāra Dhama pamare trahi Sakala chadiya asiyachiyami tomāra śarane nata Sakala chadiya asiyachiyami tomāra śarane nata Amin nitya-dāsa tumi bhalayita tumi gopta jagannaha Ami nitya-dāsa tumi bhalayita tumi gopta jagannaha tomāra sakala ami matra dasa amara taribe tumi tomāra sakala ami matra dasa amara taribe tumi tomāra śaran hoinu varam amana nahito ami tomāra śaran hoinu varana amana nahito ami. One more. Bhaktivinoda kandiya śarana lojeche tomāra bhaya Bhaktivinoda kandiya śarana lojeche tomāra bhaya chami aparadha nameruchidiya palana korohe tai chami aparadha nameruchidiya palana korohe taya ki Jani ki Bale tomāra dhāmete hoinu Saranagati ki Jani ki Bale tomāra dhāmete hoinu Saranagati, tumi doyā-moy, patita-pāvana, patita-tāran rata, tumi doyā-moy, patita-pāvana, patita-tāran rata. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gora Hari Bol, Nitai Go, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gora Hari Bol. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. How has one such as I come to your shelter? Ki Jani ki Bale, tomāra dhāmete, to your Dhama, hoinu Saranagata, your Saranagata, your shelter. Surely it is by your mercy alone. Tumi doyā-moy, for you are ever seeking the purification and deliverance of the fallen souls. Avasya guchabe boy. No, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong one. Tumi doyā-moy, patita-pāvana, you are savior of the fallen. Patita-tāran rata, you are attached to the deliverance of the fallen. And then bharasā amar e matranata tumito karunā-moy. You are my only hope. For you, so bharasā, for you are full of compassion and mercy. Oh, wait a minute. Tumito karunā-moy, you are full of compassion and mercy. Matra, you only, you are my only hope. There is no one who needs your mercy more than I. Nahi more sam, there's no one equal to my need. To your doyā-pātra, your giving of compassion, your vessel of compassion. You will surely drive away all fear. Avasya guchabe boy is fear. Guchabe, you will drive away. Avasya, certainly. Amar tarite kaharo shokoti which is Shakti, avanī-bhitore nahi. No one else has the power to deliver me. Power, of course, is Shakti. Amare tarite, to deliver, tarana. Avanī-bhitore nahi, excuse me. Well, bhitore is fear. No, amidst, bhitore. Avani, I don't know, avani. The fear of this terrible world. Okay. Doyal Thakur Goshana Tomar Adama Phamare Trahi. So, O Thakur, O Lord, who are doyalu, who are merciful, Goshana, where am I here? Goshana, I'm not sure. Your Goshana, Gosh, declaration, I think, your declaration. Kindly deliver this vile and lowly servant. Adama, having no position, literally, so lowly, and pamara, also lowly. Shakala charya asyachyami. I've given up everything, and I've come to you. Tomāra chorane nata, I've come to your lotus feet, O Lord. I'm your eternal servant. Ami, nitya-dāsa. Tumi palayita. Wow, that's very Sanskritic. You are the cause of my protection. Tumi Gopta Jagannatha. He's addressing the Lord as the Lord of the universe. You are my Gopta, my maintainer as well as protector, because that's the theme of this section. Tomar Shakal Ami Matra Das. You are everything, Tomar Shakal Ami Matra Das. I am only a servant, Matra. Amar Tarive Tumi. Certainly you will deliver me. Tomar Chorana Korinu Varana. I have chosen your lotus feet as my only shelter. Varana. Vara means choice in Sanskrit, or to choose. Varana, choice. I've made my choice. Amar nahi to ami. I no longer belong to myself. I'm no longer mine. Bhaktivinoda kandya sharana lojeche tomar pai. Weeping, kandya. Bhaktivinoda takes shelter at your feet. Bhaktivinoda sharana loyeche. Loyeche, taking. Tomar, your pai has received. Forgive his offenses. Kshami aparad. Afford him a taste for the holy name. Name ruchi diya. And kindly maintain him. Palana korohe tai. Palana, protection. Korohe, please give. So that's the introductory song to, I don't know how many songs are in this section, but that's his beginning. And we can see a kind of bridge, a kind of carryover from Atma-nivedana. And of course, the whole Saranagati is, we can say, about Atmani-vedana, it's about surrender. And here, Bhaktivinoda is making a declaration, more specifically calling attention to the Lord's ability, his capacity, and his the fact that he does, that he maintains, that he protects the devotee. And so that's what this section is called, Goptritve Varana. Literally, what the choice in protectiveness, something like that. So in other words, having confidence or being aware, remembering that the Lord protects. And of course, he's saying, please protect me because I'm your surrendered soul. I'm giving myself to you, so I have no other protection. And you have declared loudly, Goshana tomāra adama pamare trahi. You deliver the most fallen, so here I am. I'm the one you're talking about, he's saying. So he's taking this humble position. He's giving us example, and in the end, kandiya śarana, crying. This intensity of intention is illustrated by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And this is our aspiration also. It's a kind of desperation, we can say, but at the same time we saw it was the last song, there's also a confidence. There's a sense of sureness. And also here, avashya guchabe boy, certainly you dispel fear. So there's this confidence at the same time that the Lord is protecting, and he will protect in all circumstances. Okay, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura ki jai, Saranagati, songs ki jai, Hare Krishna. All right, we have a few minutes before 2 o'clock, before my time, 2 o'clock. And we have some share some show and tell. And who do we have first? I see Nandi Mukhi, not Nandi Mukhi, I see Narahari. And Narahari will have to unmute yourself. Do you know how to do that? Yes. Okay.
Hare Krishna. Please accept.
Hare Krishna.
Please accept my humble obeisance, Guru Maharaj. It's the idea of Nandi Mukhi.
It's her fault. It's not my fault.
Because I go bharasā for distribution, and when I come, I tell her some stories, and then she said, "Why don't you make share with in this program by Krishna Kshetra Swami Maharaj, show and tell?" So here I am. Thank you for allowing me to share some small glimpse of Sankirtan. And yesterday I was, usually I go 3 times in a week, but because of this situation, I go once a week, Friday. And so as usual, I packed my things and I went with bus to Passau. And then it was like 12:30, and I was going to my place where I put my bag. But then there was one lady sitting, Indian girl, maybe she's age of 22, 23. And she was sitting there. So I approached her, and so she said, you are from where? I said, I'm from India. I said, you? I'm from Pakistan. Okay. And then I sit and I started to talk about real bhakti, Krishna bhakti. And she liked it very much. And talking many things in Hindi. She speaks also Hindi. And so then she said, it's nearly 2 o'clock. I have to go to the dentist. But I come in half an hour, and then my husband will be also there, so we can meet again. So I said, okay, I will come here back at 2:30. So at 2:30 I went, but she was not there because I think by doctor they took longer time. So I said, yeah, okay. So I was walking here and there. And it was like 4:30 in the afternoon. I thought, okay, I take a little prasad. So I sit outside and put my box out, and I was eating, and then they were coming, both of them. So they said, they were looking for me. So then they saw me there outside, so they came. And then I said, yes, please, welcome, come and sit. So they said, oh, you are taking the food? And I said, yeah, it's okay. I can also give you something. No, we have eaten, so okay. And then, we started to talk. And this man, he was so inspired and he liked it very much. He said, I'm tired of this material world. I want some mukti. And so then I said, then you have to come to temple. I said, where is the temple? And I explained him. And he said, yes. I said, you have a car? He said, yes, I have a car. And I said, okay. Then I gave him the address card. And he said he will come. So I hope by your mercy, he will come at 6 o'clock. He said he will be there. And there's yagya and program. So, yeah.
Very good.
And he's also Muslim.
Yeah.
Both Muslim, and he's very open, and he said, actually in Hindu there are so many gods. No? And I said, yes, it's God is one, is Krishna or Allah, but there are demigods who are in charge of different like sun, vayu, air, water. Now I understand that God is one, but there are different assistants of God.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
Trustee. Paso preaching, ki jai.
Yeah.
Very good.
Then thank you for your mercy. And Kadamba Kanana Maharaj here is on the farm.
Oh
now.
Yeah. We should get him. We should get him on here, sharing something. Yes. Maybe next week. He's going to be there for a few weeks, I think.
2 months.
2 months, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll...
I will ask Maharaj if he...
Huh?
Ask Maharaj for next week.
Yeah, next week. You talk to him and tell him we're expecting him. He doesn't have to stay for the whole thing. Just, come on for 5 or 10 minutes and share something with us. He can tell us about the book. He's writing a book now, so that would be interesting.
Okay. Yes. Nice.
Yeah. And then in Pasa, every Friday, there is Haridam. Devotees are coming. Where the start gallery is, opposite, there is 2 lions. And there is a place there. And devotees are sitting there and making Harinam. And Maharaj was also there. He was singing. And it was very nice the loudspeaker. You can hear from far.
and when Kadamba Swami sings, there's no stopping him. He's a very powerful singer.
Yes. And yeah, we have like from 5:30 to 7 o'clock. We have given the time to make Harinam there, sitting Harinam. And yesterday there were so many devotees, and they brought also conch shell, and they were blowing conch shell every few minutes. And the police usually they come and then they go, but this time they were staying there. We were in the car sitting, and I was just passing by. I saw them; they were smiling, laughing. You know, they were happy to hear that.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, you're purifying pasā. Okay, thank you, Narahari Mataji. Hare Krishna. There was observance for appreciation of Narahari Mataji a few days ago. She's been serving Lord Nrsingadev for 40 years now. So many devotees came together and shared memories and so on. It was very special. Even some devotees that we haven't seen for quite many years also appeared. Okay, so I'm a little bit watching the clock, and who is next?
I think the Mataji Hemangi Gopi, she cancelled.
Oh.
So I don't know if I understood properly. Is it Mataji Dira Lalita? Because I'm a little bit confused now. So who is still here to share? Mataji Dira Lalita, did you want to share something or?
Yes, something short, but I think Anandamayi was before me.
Okay.
As you announced, I wouldn't like to jump in. If there is no time, I can do it next time.
I will be right back. You please continue.
Anandamayi Mataji, you want to share as well?
I was not announcing anything.
Okay, sorry, I may be confused because you were replying to my messages with presentation topic. So that was okay. Sorry.
Okay. No, it was only about this meeting information.
Okay. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so is that me now? Is there time?
Yes, Mataji, you're right now.
There is. Yes. Should I wait for Guru Maharaj to come back? Or?
Yeah, maybe.
Yes, of course.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Daria.
Just to use this opportunity to check translators, everything is working fine? Everything is okay on your side? Devotees can hear you properly? You have to switch to English channel to reply.
So.
Okay.
So, Guru Maharaj, it's me. Again, Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. This is very short. I'm just going to read it. I wrote it down so I don't take too much time. Last week before our meeting, I met someone on the street. I went for a japa walk, and I'll start reading, maybe better. And this is a bit continuation from the end of last meeting, where the Guru Maharaj was saying how Shivarama Maharaj wrote that Wherever Srila Prabhupada went, he sanctified that place. So, well, once when Guru Maharaj visited the UK, by my great luck and fortune, stayed in the place where I live, and he went for a short walk around the block. So on his way, he passed by a Trinity church. So last Saturday, I went on a japa walk, and next to the same church, there was a thin man trimming the live hedge around the church. I was just about to go around, respecting the 2 meters distance. And when he said loudly, Hare Krishna, so I've stopped thinking maybe this is only a tease, because sometimes people do that on the street when see a devotee with a japa in their hands. But then he repeated the greeting again, Hare Krishna. I've stopped again in distance and asked him, well, do you know Hare Krishnas? And he says, yes, I read Bhagavad Gita a lot. I love Srila Prabhupada. Then he said that he became ill and he's waiting for several surgeries to be done on his body. And then in our short conversation, I found out that he was a part of Hare Krishna community in Cornwall. Cornwall is a south side of the UK, seaside. But because he didn't have a great experience, he stayed away from the community. And he moved back to Hertfordshire, where he lives now, which is just 2 streets down from where I live. And then he said, I've said that I'm truly sorry that he hadn't had a good experience. But then he said he started connecting. He didn't go on about anything negative, really. He said he started connecting Bhagavad Gita with the Bible. And he said that he's got like always 3 confirmations. One is from Bhagavad Gita, another is from the Bible, and the third one is a Guru Nanak Shastra. I think Guru Nanak are from Sikhs. Are they from Sikhs? Yes. Yeah. So he says he listened to the tapes of Srila Prabhupada regularly. And he said that Lord Jesus gave us some understanding of godly heaven, but the most is hidden. But Srila Prabhupada gave us a hidden part about God. Then he asked about Lord Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra Devi. He didn't understand their appearances. And I've said, I've given him a short explanation. And then he saw my japa, which is my shona. I'll just show you this japa. It has a very cute painted Giriraj on it that I got this year from one Russian devotee in Mayapur. And he asked me, well, who is that? Who is that on your japa? And I told him a short explanation that before Krishna came to this earth, he sent and created the proper facility for his pastimes on earth. And I said that some Vaishnavas and devotees worship and pray to Govardhan Hill as he is to be understood to be the best of all devotees and in the heart of Srimati Radharani. Can I read my own writing? And then I offered this Mr. Daniel Hayes, is his name, to visit us and gave him our address and continued on my japa walk. And then my thoughts went to my Shishya Radha Govinda, Govardhan Shalagram Shilas, and they appeared in my mind smiling. And as Guru Maharaj gave them this name, so I was sort of connecting everything together with I was thinking, where is this mercy coming from? Was my Radha Govinda very happy with the porridge and berries I offered them this morning? Or was it that I've met this man because my Guru Maharaj walked past this place and sanctified this place unknowingly? Then I was thinking that the eyes of the Giriraj on my japa attracted this man. And maybe he was ready to hear about Giriraj. And maybe Giriraj wanted to be known to more people than just to me. So that was my little something that happened on my japa walk. And I
Very nice.
Hope it's short enough.
Very nice. You never know what can happen on a japa walk.
You never know. Thank you.
Okay, we have 6 more minutes before I think we're beginning with our initiation. So, was there another presentation?
No, Guru Maharaj, not that I know.
Oh, okay. And then, let's see. Okay, we have now just to see if they're all there. Maybe we maybe I have 5 minutes to read from my book called Krishna's Wonderful Form. Yeah, okay, we can do this. I'm going through this book now in editing mode. The book is more or less finished. I've spoken something about this other times. And I'm now working on the refining. So I will start where? Okay. Yes. Who may make an image of God? This is a section of the first part. It's the last section of the second chapter of part 1, which is about how deity worship is not idolatry. So I say, and I'm speaking to one of the young people who are meeting with me that I'm talking with. Her name is Angela. I say, now, Angela, we can get to your question about who is qualified to make an image of God. I was just now suggesting that we can think of physical images in the temple as extensions of avatars. But obviously, if we're now talking about physical images made of some material like wood, metal, or stone, there is a physical making process. And this is done by perhaps an artisan of some sort. And of course, we remember the biblical injunction against graven images, which means, graven means fashioned by human hands. Even if we think this injunction would do with some specification, maybe allowing for rare exceptions, we might well ask, wouldn't the artisan have to be quite special, elevated soul? And Angela says, yes, that's what I was thinking. Wouldn't he or she have to be an advanced yogi who has maybe had some vision of Krishna? And I answer, not necessarily. The artisan can work under the direction of an elevated soul, someone who in so many words has either directly seeing God's form in this world, his avatar, or has the Lord's blessing to give direction for fashioning an image for worship. Another verification method is when a recognized preceptor of the tradition acknowledges an existing murti as a proper form fit for worship. And related to this last option, there is an interesting history of one particular Krishna image in present-day Vrindavan, the pilgrimage town associated with Krishna's childhood and youth. I spent some months researching about this image when doing my doctoral study some years ago. And I give a reference to the book, a little promotion of my book based on that work. And then Jake, who is the younger brother of Angela, says, Krishna had a childhood and youth? And the Swami says, oh yes, and such a wonderful childhood and youth, all described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Well, and then I go on from there, and I tell the story of the appearance of Radharaman and how he's a self-manifest deity and so on. So I see now that it's 2 o'clock. Of course, it could well be that they're not ready in Goloka Dham, but maybe I should ask. I don't know if somebody from there is online already. There's quite a number of devotees.
Yes, we are ready, Maharaj.
Oh, you're ready. There you are. Oh, Gora Hari Prabhu. Hare Krishna. And the priest, it's a little hard for me to see. Oh, I see Ivica is there, and there's Vasudev, the priest, and do we have darshan of Radha Madan Mohan possible?
Yes, we have another channel with the name Radha Madan Mohan with a mobile phone, so it's not directly this channel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it possible to just turn the camera for a moment?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's all connected here. So
it's not so easy. Oh, oh there. Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki jai. So nice. So, Jayatam Surato Pangor Mama Manda Matergati Matsar Vasva Padambo Jo Radha Manamamo Hano. Okay, so I see you're all set up there. And then what can we do? We shall proceed. Did you already do the achamana and so on? Good. You have chanted.
yes.
Okay. Very good. Now you've put the camera a little too high. It was okay before, but yes, now it's good. We can see. Yes, I would like to first welcome all of you at Goloka Dham. Thank you for coming together for this very special event. And I want to thank those of you online who have joined. I know there are some additional devotees from our usual group. I think devotees around the Goloka Dham community. I'm hearing my own voice, which gets me a little confused, but okay. And we like to welcome Bhakta Ivica. Hare Krishna. He is looking all bright, and we say bright and bushy-tailed. So I will say a few words to the occasion, and then we'll proceed from there. First, I will chant some mantra. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. This occasion, which is happening at the beginning of the month of Purushottama, a special month that happens only once every 3 years, is considered extremely auspicious for the Vaishnavas, and for the non-Vaishnavas, it's considered very inauspicious. So what do we want to be? Do we want to be Vaishnava or not Vaishnava during this month? I think we want to be Vaishnava. And of course, we don't want to be Vaishnava just for this month. We want to be Vaishnava throughout this life and forevermore. Sometimes there's a protest that, oh, you are not Vaishnava, you are Krishnava, Krishnite. You are not worshippers of Vishnu, you are worshippers of Krishna. Well, yes, that is true, but we also worship Vishnu. Vishnu is included in Krishna. And we have just been singing this song from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura for Goptritve Varanam, for taking shelter of the Lord who is our maintainer. So when we think of maintenance, we think in particular of Vishnu. But why am I speaking about Vishnu on this occasion? I'm speaking about Vishnu on this occasion because this occasion of initiation is also about maintenance. It's about the maintenance of our practice of Krishna consciousness. And in particular, when one takes initiation, one is, unlike in the karma khandiya initiation into some ritual, some sacrifice, some yajna, which is always a temporary thing, this initiation is permanent. And this is a very good thing, because that's what we all want. In this temporary world where nothing is permanent, there is one thing which is permanent, and that is our eternal life and our eternal relationship with the Supreme Eternal Person, Krishna. I've just been reading or rereading part of Brihad Bhagavatamrita of Srila Sanatan Das Goswami toward the end of the second part. It is the story of Gopa-kumara, who is telling a Mathura Brahmin about his experience of going back home, back to Godhead. And it is, by the way, it seems very much a case of going back home, back to Godhead, not going for the first time. Because when he meets Krishna, Krishna is saying, my old friend. There's this wonderful meeting of Krishna with his friend Gopa-kumara. There's a bit of humor there also, because Krishna becomes so ecstatic when he sees Gopa-kumara that he embraces him, and then he falls, and then he faints. And the other residents of the other Brajbasis, Krishna's associates, who are immediately present and seeing all this, or some who are running to see what is the commotion, they're initially thinking, who is this stranger and why is he causing all this trouble for our Krishna? Because they don't understand yet that it's not trouble. Krishna is overjoyed at meeting his devotee. And Gopa-kumar has been anticipating this moment for so long. He is, of course, intensely excited. But also all the residents of Vrindavan are anticipating to see Krishna again after having been separated from him for a few hours. Krishna goes to the forest to tend the cows every day, and while he's gone, those who are not with him are feeling this intensity of his absence. And so when the time comes that Krishna comes back from the forest and the devotees hear him playing his flute, the intensity of their emotions is overwhelming, and they're all running to see Krishna. So that little picture of Goloka Vrindavan, since we're speaking in Goloka Dhama, I thought may be appropriate as a way of helping us feel and be reminded that we want to live our lives with a spirit of anticipation. And it's in that spirit of anticipation that we call to Krishna. And we call to Krishna by calling his name, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I just found out a few days ago that the vocative form of the masculine name in Polish ends in O. So it's O Krishno and O Ramo. So I was telling Mana Jivan, maybe we have to start a new program for Polish devotees chanting a new mantra. That was a terrible idea. Forget it. The mantra is, as we just chanted it. So we're calling to Krishna, and we want to call Krishna's names in such a way that Krishna will be attracted, so that also Krishna will do his part to help us to come to him. We understand from the Bhagavad Gita that we are engaged in yoga, and yoga means, of course, connecting, linking with the Lord. It also means discipline. And yoga can also refer to what Krishna does in relation to us. He connects with us. Yes. And Purushottama yoga, for example, Krishna is declaring in the 15th chapter, since this is the month of Purushottama, he is declaring that he is, that we are his parts and parcels, and being his parts and parcels, he is concerned to connect with us. And so we call to him so that he notices. So, and then in this way, it's a bi-directional process of connection. And of course, very much involved in this process, this bi-directional process, there is this, shall we say, third factor. There is the mediation of our acharyas. There is the sampradaya, the succession, the tradition. Sometimes the word sampradaya is simply translated as tradition. There's the tradition of preceptors, of teachers. And the teachers are redirecting us back by education. The word in English, education, educare in Latin, as I remember, has the sense of recalling or recollecting or remembering what we already know. So Guru is connecting us, is giving us the opportunity to make the connection or remake the connection with the Lord. And this is a wonderful process. It's called Bhakti Yoga. And the process Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita is quite essentially satatam kirtayanto mam, satatam kirtayanto mam, yatantas cha dhridavrata. Making a vow, a firm vow, to always be engaged, satatam, in the activity of glorification, kirtanam, satatam kirtayantaha, which is very much an activity of our tongues, and therefore Srila Prabhupada would sometimes say that self-realization begins with the tongue. I like that idea because it says so much of what we are about. We are the Hare Krishnas, we chant the name Krishna, and for this we use our tongue. But in so many ways, unlimited ways, we praise the Lord, kirtaniya sada hari. And we can keep this vow of, this determined vow by cultivating the spirit that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advises us, trinadapi sunichena taroriva sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. We can keep ourselves in the humble position. We recognize our insignificance, and if we forget about our insignificance, we can, Krishna will help us to remember, and also we can read and hear and sing such songs as we have sung from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura today. Trinadapi sunichena tarori vasahishana. And then having this sense of readiness, well, to not expect anything for ourselves in terms of honor, and that much more having an eagerness, a readiness to appreciate others. This is Vaishnava. This is maintaining our power of spiritual practice. Satatam kirtayanto mang itantas cha dhridavrata namantas namanyanant bhaktya. My brain's not working. Anyway, with bhakti. Nitya yukta upasate, yes. This is giving us the strength, but what else is giving us the strength? We cultivate a connection with the devotees. So that is also bhakti. It's been said there's vertical bhakti and horizontal bhakti. We worship Krishna and we keep connection with the devotees and serve the devotees. We see them also as our prabhus, and therefore there's a vertical dimension to the horizontal dimension as well. And if we do like this, then we can feel assured that success is there. And then our future is very bright. Our future in spiritual life is bright. Bright, brighter, and brightest. So I won't go on and on. I want to keep it brief. I want to welcome Bhakta Ivica officially into the family, and I want to ask all the devotees to welcome him into the family of devotees. There's perhaps a moment of, well, I shouldn't say that. I was going to say of mourning, because he's not losing this name, but he's gaining a new name of connection, helping to have the sense of connection with the Lord. So we have a wonderful family, all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. We have families within families. We have spiritual father. We have also many spiritual uncles and aunties. We have spiritual brothers and sisters, and we have spiritual cousins. And of course, we all have our spiritual, for myself, father. For others, we say grandfather. We have Srila Prabhupada and all of the previous acharyas. All this family is our family. And families stick together. They take care of each other. And they defend each other, except devotees are defended by Krishna, and we're minimizing eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. But that's, for ourselves, but devotees can be like lions protecting other devotees. And so this is our welcome, this initiation, and it's also a reminder that it is a process which is a lifetime project. It's a glorious commitment to make, and we want to do everything we can to help you on this glorious path. So, Bhakta Ivica, can you, I think if you can come and offer obeisance to Guru and Gauranga, and of course Srila Prabhupada is also there. Quite many devotees have assembled. That's very nice. So we're happy to also remember at this time Radha Madan Mohan, because Radha Madan Mohan have been, part of my own life since, when were they installed? 1974 or 75 in Schloss Rettershof. And sometimes Here's coming a garland. What's going to happen with this garland?
This is a garland for you, Maharaj.
Oh, you're going to offer me a garland. That'll be interesting. If you can pass it through the screen, I will be really impressed. Thank you. These flowers are very nice and they have a nice smell also. They probably have a nice smell. Hare Krishna. So, Ivica, you have been practicing Krishna consciousness for many years now.
I don't know if the garland is... Yeah.
When did you first meet the devotees?
That was 2013 in Porridge. I met Malati Mala and Nadjani Maya.
Oh, wow. And they are with us today, so this is very good. They're with us from Istria, so they're near Porridge. And how many years have you been at Goloka Dhama?
Almost 7 years altogether.
Wow, okay, that is steadiness.
With 1.5 years in Croatia also.
Okay, we'll forgive you for that. Okay, so what are the 4 regulative principles you're going to continue following and for the rest of your life?
Yes, I promise in this assembly of the Vaishnavas, Shri Guru and Gauranga, Shri Radha Madan Mohan, that I will avoid the abominable activities of illicit sex, meat eating, fish eating, eggs eating, that I will avoid gambling and intoxication.
Okay, very good. You will avoid, but if these things come to you, what happens then?
I will not do them.
Sorry, I didn't hear. Say again.
I will not do these activities.
Very good, okay. And as we know, Srila Prabhupada insisted very strongly, and we continue that tradition regarding our positive basic practice of sadhana bhakti. And what is this you're going to do?
I will chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra at least 16 rounds per day, every day, until the rest of my life.
Wow, that's very good. And we want to give you all best wishes for this. And would you like to have some spiritual name with a title?
That would be good.
That would be good. Okay. Now I have to try to pass something through the screen to you, which is a japa mala, but I'm going to do it only mentally as I say your name. So your name is Vrindaranya-gopal Das. Suddenly there was an explosion. Hare Krishna. So, Hare Krishna. So, Vrindaranya, Aranya means forest, and Vrinda is Vrinda. Vrinda can mean assembly, but we know Vrindavana. So another name of Vrindavana is Vrindaranya. And Gopala, we know what Gopal means. One who protects the cows. And there's one particular cow protector that we favor, and his name is Krishna. So Gopala can refer to Krishna. And it is that Gopala who is celebrated in Vrindavan. He's that Gopala who is the chief Gopala of Vrindavan or Vrindaranya. So Vrindaranya-gopal Das. Is that name all right? Do we have anyone else in the Goloka Dham Yatra with that same name? No? Okay. We wouldn't want to have some confusion because of that. Okay, so I will now request Vasudev Prabhu to proceed with sealing the initiation, so to say, completing it with a yajna, invoking all of the acharyas. And I would request you to allow me to proceed with my program here. And please consider that I am also present with you there, so to say. Is that all right?
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay. So, all the best for your new chapter in your life, Vrindaranya-gopal Das. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you, thank you. Hare Krishna. Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki jai. Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki jai. Goloka Dham ki jai. Okay. So, we have just a few more minutes. The question has come up about Purushottama, the month of Purushottama, and I passed the question on to Veera Gopal, who shared with me a message that he received called The Glories of Purushottama. And so I thought to share something, not all of this, just some of this with you, because it's rather long. But in the context of our broader discussion about the Dhama, it's interesting to think about, we've been discussing essentially sacred space, and here we can also think about sacred time. And we could say that the combination of sacred time and sacred space is double sacred. and that the Dhamma is the place where both are existing all the time. And so it's not just, we can't really separate space and time because we understand the Dhamma is anywhere where is present the Lord. Wherever the Lord is present, the Dhamma is present. Where the Dhamma is present, that is also its sacred space, and it's also opening us to sacred time. Still, we find ourselves in this material world where we experience temporality, where we experience asat, achit, and near ananda. But there are these openings. We talked about thin. There's a thin place. The spiritual place is a thin place connecting to the spiritual world. So also times we may feel can be special. And we can take advantage of that specialness with some adjustments in our lives. Purushottama is called Purushottam because Krishna is Purushottama and he likes this month. And it's also called Adhika Masa, which is more of a technical term. It just means extra, because that's what it is. It's an extra month that makes an adjustment in order to keep the lunar calendar in line with the solar calendar, because they're not completely in sync, so to say, and so there is this adjustment. Don't ask me for more detail. That's all I know, because I'm not an astronomer or an astrologer. But it does come every 3 years, and it comes when it comes. It seems to always be around this time. I was in Vrindavan for the month of Purushottam and Kartik in 2001. And it was explained to me by priests of the Radharaman temple that this month is also called Mala Masa. It's explained here. From a karma kandiya perspective, it's a bad month. It's a bad month for doing anything in terms of karma kanda. If you want to try to improve your material life, this is not the time to do it. Mala Masa has been translated as dirty. Mala, mala, it's short mala, not mala, but mala, can mean dirty or useless. But that was one aspect of it that explained to me. They told me in Vrindavan, it means that the priests who do these karma kandiya activities, samskaras and different such activities, they get the month off. There's nothing for them to do during this month, which gives them more time to do spiritual things. And so, in particular, I was studying the Radharaman temple, And I was also visiting the Radha Vallabha temple, which is next to the Banke Bihari temple. It's from the Radha Vallabha Sampradaya, which is different from the Vallabha Sampradaya. In the Radharaman temple, the Radha Vallabha temple, and one other temple, which is just across the street from the Radha Vallabha temple, which I don't remember the name. It's a quite small temple, and it is cared for by descendants of, I guess, the priests of Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. We don't hear very much about Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. He was one of the six of the famous six Goswamis. In these three temples, there's one special activity that goes on throughout the month of Purushottama. And that is the making of what is called sanji. S-A-N-J-H-I, sanji. Sanji is, well, it's been taken on by these priests. It's a village tradition of making images, making pictures. It can be pictures on walls, which are made with different kinds of colors, powdered colored rice and so on. But what they do in these three temples is they create a quite good-sized mandala in the Radha Vallabha, well, both, yeah, all three temples. This would be, I would say, up to 1.5 meters in diameter. About 1.5 meters diameter. And this was a beautiful mandala, multicolored. Each time in the center would be a particular Leela of Krishna represented, a picture. Probably you can find this on the internet. Nowadays, everything is on the internet. So if you just look up, you know, Radharaman Sanji, they'll probably be posting every day. Or if you look up Radha Vallabha Sanji, they'll probably be posting. Because, and here's the amazing thing, the priests will prepare this mandala over a period of several hours. 6 to 8 hours they'll work on this throughout the day, and the temple will be kept closed. You're not allowed to come and see until it's ready. And when it's ready in the late afternoon or early evening, then they open the doors, everyone comes in, they have darshan of the Lord, and they have darshan of Sanji. And that's the whole thing, is just to see this wonderful arrangement that's been done by the pujaris. And when it's when the evening is over and it's time for everyone to leave and the temple closes, the pujaris destroy the sanji that they've created that day, and they start all over the next day. So for 30 days, they're doing this. You may have heard about Tibetan Buddhists making mandalas, extremely intricate mandalas, and then they will destroy them. I don't know if they make in one day. I don't know if they make 30 different ones in one day, in 1 month, but it's a little like that. But this is, you know, Krishna Leela, so it's very sweet. And in the Radha Vallabha temple, in addition to this, every evening was a special darshan, special festival with the deity of Radha Vallabha. And there are two particular occasions I remember. One was a Vivaha Lila, Radha and Krishna getting married. They had both Radha and Krishna dressed extremely elaborately with super elaborate flower arrangements. Radharani is in both the Radha Vallabha temple and Radharaman temple, appearing only in the form of what is called Gaddi Seva, not having a three-dimensional form, but having a yantra covered by a sari and a crown. So that was one occasion, and another occasion they celebrated Nauka Lila, in which they set up in front of the altar like a boat. Nauka means boat, and they had like a boat so that Radha and Krishna were in the boat. There is this lila that Krishna and Radha and the gopis are on a boat, and a storm comes up and the gopis are terrified and Krishna is enjoying their anxiety. So the Nauka Lila they do in this temple, which they actually pour water all over the altar, not the altar, the platform around the altar, and they create what in English would be called a moat. I mean, they make a dike, and they filled, I don't know, a few inches of water. So the pujaris were all wading through water as they were doing their service. Anyway, it's a special month. There's not a whole lot of time, so I should jump, I think. Because devotees want to know, okay, what to do during this month. Well, it's said here that, there's all kinds of glorification, that 1,000 times benefit of even Kartik this month. All right, here's what's suggested. First, try your best to please Radha and Krishna by performing devotional austerities according to your abilities and capacities, and don't break your vow. So if you make some special vow, you should keep it throughout the month. Now, I know some of you are going to ask, so what are you going to do? And first, I should say one should not announce one's vows. It is said that one should not advertise what one is going to do. My intention is very modest. I'm not much for fasting and so on. I do want to increase japa chanting, and I'm kind of revisiting the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, so I'm reading that. It's very nice. So, of course, extra reading, extra chanting, not extra eating, maybe less eating is good. Let's see what else. It's nice to offer full worship to your deity every day. If you have an altar, if you can do a full worship. The number 33 comes up many times in this, and I don't find an explanation for that number, but it says if you offer 33 lamps every day, that's a good rata to keep. It's also good, of course, to worship Tulsi, to circumambulate her. And it's a good idea. Now, this you may find a little difficult, but maybe it's possible for some of you. At least in the mind, you can try this, to offer to Radha and Krishna, Gaur-Nitai, and Jagannath roses, lotus flowers, and 100,000 tulsi leaves. 100,000 tulsi leaves, 1 lakh. Okay, you don't have 100,000 tulsi leaves. Well, here's where Manasa Puja comes in. There's a mantra which is associated, and here it's called the Purushottama mantra, which is very nice. It goes like this. Vande Navagana Shyama Dvibhujam Muralidaram Pitambara Darang Devam Saradam Purushottamam. I offer my obeisances to Krishna, who has the color of a fresh rain cloud, Navagana Shyama, who is holding the flute with his 2 hands. I worship Purushottama, who is so beautiful in his yellow dress, pitambara. Now, somebody may ask for that again. I would have to type it in, I guess. Vande Navagana Shyama Bhujam Muralidaram. No, Dvibhujam Muralidaram Pitambaradaram Devam Saradam or Sharadam. I'm not sure. We don't have diacritics here, which can be a problem. Purushottamam. Sharadam Purushottamam. And there's another mantra, which I had not known. I know this verse, but I didn't know. It's called the Kaundinya Muni's mantra. And it's advised to chant it 12 times or more. And it's actually a glorification of Krishna and Govardhan. Govardhanadaram vande gopalam goparupinam gokulotsava ishanam govindam gopikapriyam. Govardhanadaram vande gopalam goparupinam gokulotsava ishanam, or ishanam, I guess it would be. Govindam Gopikapriyam. I worship the lifter of Govardhan Hill, who has the beautiful form of a cowherd boy and who continually plays with the Gopas. He is the Lord of Gokula, wherein every day is a festival. So that points to this sacred time being the case in the holy Dham, in the spiritual world. It's Gokula Utsava. I would say the translation is maybe, well, it depends. Anyway, Utsava, we know from third canto when Varahadev finishes off Hiranyaksha, he returns back to the spiritual world in which there is a festival going on all the time or every day. So sacred time accompanies sacred place. Of course, hearing Krishna Katha is recommended, and here you may want to consider as a Purushottama vow to do some additional reading, or do some reading if you're not doing any reading. You may want to read, a chapter a day of Shastra. Yes, you can chant more, you can read more. You can serve the Vaishnavas in so many ways. It's recommended to be especially careful not to blaspheme any devotees, and certainly, not the saints or the cows. I know none of you are having a problem with this, so... here is one. Eat from a leaf plate on the floor. Do not cut your nails or hair for 1 month. Well, it's already too late for me. I cut my nails. No cooking in oil or rubbing of oil on your body. No eating or rubbing of mustard oil. This is especially for the Bengalis. Bengalis are always using mustard oil for everything. Okay. Well, let's see. What more can we say? Okay, let's just finish. Okay, the time is already up. Let's end with Bhaktivinoda Thakur speaking on Purushottama Mas. He says, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur on Purushottama Masa Vrata performed the Nirapeksha Vrata, which means 30 days of concentrated one-pointed worship and service to Radha, Govinda, Jagannath, and Gauranga by hearing, chanting, remembering their names, their divine names, forms, pastimes, doing this all day and all night, hearing about Krishna, chanting the Maha Mantra, taking Mahaprasadam, and again chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you all so much again for coming together. I wish you a wonderful Purushottama Masa, and this week, a nice this week and weekend and day. And I think we will end there. And next week, let's see, Nandi Mukhi, are you there? Can you ask Kadamba Swami if he can join us for a few minutes?
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
Okay.
We'll ask him.
So that'll be a special treat for next week.
I hope so. Maharaj says yes.
Let's hope so. Tell him he has no excuse. Tell him I told you he has no excuse to to not come. Yeah, you can mention if he likes, he's welcome, and if he likes, maybe he can say a few words about the book which he is writing.
Good, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Gauti Vaishnavinda ki jai.
Jai.
Itai Gaura Premanande.
Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. See you next Saturday.
Hari Bol, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol, everybody. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol, Prema. Gola.
Hari Bol, Siddharani. Hari
Bol. 很开心啊，见到你们。
是啊。哎，怎么没见到你呢？啊。
见到吧。
Hare Krishna。啊，见到了，见到了，见到了，谢特人。
Hare Krishna。
那你好吗？
挺好，挺好，谢谢。你们呢？
很好。
你们在家还是在办公室啊？
在家。在家。
在家哦，看不出来。
后面这个画是新的。
哦，哎呀，很挂念呐，很挂念你的家。
是啊。
什么时候再来啊？
好啊，很快就来了。
对呀。
很快就来了。
期待你跟Guru。
感谢你，感谢你。Hare Krishna， 再见。Hare Bol。
再见。
Hare Bol。
Hare Bol。